There's been some intense back and forth lately between the FAA and SpaceX, and it's all boiling down to one word: safety. But how much of this is really about safety, and how much is about control over the future of space travel? Let's dive into this heated debate and see what's really going on. At a recent hearing before the House Transportation Committee's Aviation Subcommittee on September 24th, FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker took center stage. His mission: to defend the agency's actions against SpaceX. Whitaker stated that safety was the number one reason for both the fine slapped on SpaceX earlier this month and the delay in granting a new Starship launch license. But SpaceX isn't taking this quietly. They hit back hard, calling out what they see as false claims and red tape holding back progress. So, what exactly went down at this hearing? Well, Representative Kevin Kiley from California wasn't holding back with his questions. He specifically wanted to know if the FAA was being too harsh on SpaceX, especially considering the agency's $633,000 fine for what they say was a violation of launch license terms on 2 Falcon launches this year. And then there's the elephant in the room: the delay in renewing the Starship launch license, which has pushed the next test flight back to November. Whitaker's defense was simple: safety first. In his view, the fine for those Falcon launches and the Starship delay were necessary steps to ensure that SpaceX complied with safety standards. But here's where things get tricky. Whitaker claims SpaceX launched without a permit. Now, hold on. SpaceX did have licenses for both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launches, but the FAA argues that the company made changes, like switching up control centers and propellant tanks, without getting proper approval first. And when it comes to Starship, Whitaker claims the delay in the new license was partly due to SpaceX not disclosing that they were violating both Texas and federal laws. He didn't elaborate on exactly which laws, but it's clear the FAA isn't happy with the way things have been handled. Plus, Whitaker mentioned that the agency is still working on analyzing sonic booms that could happen when the Super Heavy booster returns to land at the launch site for the first time. But it doesn't stop there. Whitaker says the 2-month delay for the next Starship launch is completely justified. According to him, it's part of building a safety culture around commercial spaceflight. Representative Kiley wasn't satisfied, though. He brought up concerns that the FAA's actions could be stifling innovation in the space industry. Shouldn't the FAA be working alongside companies like SpaceX to support rapid innovation instead of slowing things down? Whitaker's response? He acknowledged that SpaceX is indeed an innovative company, one of the most innovative out there, but he added that SpaceX has been around for 20 years now. It's not a scrappy startup anymore, and according to him, they should be held to the highest safety standards, including implementing a safety management system and having a whistleblower program. Then, when asked if there's any way to speed up the Starship launch process, Whitaker didn't mince words: comply with regulations. Simple as that. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Later that same day, SpaceX fired back with a letter addressed to Representative Kiley, challenging just about everything Whitaker said during the hearing. According to SpaceX, Whitaker got it all wrong. First off, they corrected the record regarding those Falcon launches. SpaceX says they were fully compliant with the licenses they held, and they pushed back on the claim that they moved the Falcon Heavy fuel farm closer to populated areas. In fact, they moved it further away for added safety. What about the sonic boom analysis? SpaceX says that's not a safety issue at all. It's just a paperwork exercise as part of an environmental consultation. Essentially, the FAA is dragging its feet over some bureaucratic red tape, not an actual threat to public safety. There's also the issue of the deluge system at the launch site. Whitaker claimed SpaceX was violating laws here, too. But SpaceX says they have all the necessary permits from Texas regulators, although they do acknowledge facing a fine from the EPA for wastewater discharge without an EPA permit. But even so, SpaceX argues that Whitaker's characterization of the situation was wildly inaccurate. So what's really going on here? Is the FAA genuinely concerned about safety, or is there more to the story? On one hand, safety in spaceflight is absolutely critical, but on the other, SpaceX seems to believe the FAA's actions are holding back the future of space exploration with unnecessary delays and misinformation. The tension between regulatory oversight and rapid innovation is a familiar one. But when it comes to something as groundbreaking as spaceflight, the stakes are sky high, literally. SpaceX is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and they want the freedom to keep doing so. But the FAA sees itself as the gatekeeper, ensuring that pushing those boundaries doesn't come at the cost of safety. As we watch this drama unfold, one thing is clear. The future of commercial spaceflight is a balancing act between innovation and regulation. How well that balance is struck could determine how quickly we reach new frontiers, or how long we're stuck on the launch pad. We want to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on SpaceX and the ever-evolving world of space exploration. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe for more jaw-dropping space updates, and join us as we embark on a cosmic journey like never before.